Well, hello YouTube and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Ben. Today is a very interesting day again. I welcome you all and I want us to look at three main concepts of Laravel. The concepts that we're going to look today are models, views, and controllers. And we're also going to combine it with what we call the artisan command. So what we're going to do today is we're looking at the three things, but first we're starting with the artisan. We said Laravel comes with a built-in CLI, I'll call it a CLI, which helps us now interact with the Laravel application through creating stuff or manipulating things with it. And that thing, we called it artisan. So I'll open my terminal. And I'm already inside the project, so I'll clear everything. And now what I want to do is to look at the commands that are available for us using artisan. So if I'll do help, make sure this is full. So if I do php artisan help, what are we going to get? And all these are the commands that are available for us. I want to remove the sidebar so that we can see the commands that are available for Laravel. So first of all, we have everything. We have row till output row command list. We have type of format and default is txt. We can also have JSON. We have all these things, but what I'm interested in right now is artisan list. So let's do it. So I'll clear this again, and then I'll do php artisan list. Yeah, great. And now we have all these things. So I'll come here, I'll scroll up, and as you can see, we have so many things. We can run our tests. As you can see, we can list the commands just as we've done. We can show a quote. We can display the current environment and stuff like that. We can check we can start the DB version. We can put off the application and so many other things. So what we are going to be working on most of the time, we're going to be working with serve, as you can see. And also in this class, what we're going to also work on most of the time, or in this class specifically, will be first of all the key generate, although that's already done for us. So we are going to work with make, and I want us to focus on make controller. Then we'll have make model, because those are very important. And we are not going to work with the resource, and I'll tell you why. But I like just to have a custom stuff. There are some people who have raised security concerns when it comes to using resources, because they define endpoints that people can easily guess. So yeah, so this is not what we want. So we'll be creating what we call controllers. We'll create models and probably, let me see, migrations, definitely. Yeah, nice. So let's see what we said last time when we were discussing about the Laravel application. We said that we're going to have MVC. So you'll have controllers, we'll have models, as you can see, and we'll also have the resources, which are our views, right? Which are our views, views which are controlled by routes. So what happens when someone makes a request to a Laravel application? Remember what we call the request lifecycle. We first of all go to our entry point, which is public index.php, which loads all our service providers. And once these service providers are called, they now take us to what we call a routing. Actually, the first one is route service provider, which now takes us to routes here, which now completes the whole transaction by taking us back to the controller and now manipulating or showing us the exact things that we need. So today I'll start by going to our web controller here, and as you can see, we have return. When we go to artisan get, we are taken to a view called welcome. So let's look at our resources, views, and we have a view called welcome.blade.php. So let me start this Laravel application. So I'll come here and say php artisan serve. So Artisan Serve makes a local development of the application. So I can click here to view this on the web page, and we have our documentation. I like using localhost. Let me just change this to localhost, like that. Much faster. Great. So this is now what we have on our view, or welcome.html. As you can see, it is on here. So let me just minimize this. So everything that is there is already here. If we change this from Laravel to maybe lesson 1, and we go back and reload this, you can see here it will change to lesson 1. So it means that we can delete everything here, create our own, which is a HTML5 application, and here we can say introduction, and here I'll write h1, say welcome to Laravel controllers, models, and views, like that, and save it. Then I'll go back to my browser and reload it, and you'll see now welcome to Laravel controllers, models, and views. Now what has happened is, once we send a request, it's handled by our routing service provider. I'm not going to open it, I don't want us to confuse each other. So I'll go to our web, because this is the web route we are using, and we are going to return it using this one. Now in Laravel 8 we can do the same, this one, by creating a controller, here that will handle what a user requests. So let me create a controller. So I'll open my terminal again, I'll split it into two, so I can have that one running and this other one on this side. So the first thing is I showed you was to run php artisan make, then what you want to have. So in this case I want to have a controller, and then the name of the controller. So I want to have maybe the default controller. That will be the name that I want, and then I can choose again to have other things on it, but let me just maintain that one. So I'll run it, and the controller has been created. So if you look at our controllers inside here, we have our controller which has been created, and it's basically default controller as we wanted. So let's now do this on our web.php. We saw it returning a view welcome, and that is welcome.blade.php. It should be .blade, so as always, right? So we can choose to return this again on the controller here. So let's do that. So we'll say we want every time someone clicks that route, which is the default, so public function, and I'll just say this is index. Not a must we call it index, we can just say default, and when someone goes there, we want to return a view. This is a method in Laravel by default that will now redirect the user to the specific, or will show the user the specific data that we want. So in this case, we want the user to see the welcome, so we'll write welcome. You don't have to define anything else, just saying welcome, it knows it is inside the views folder. It will know its resources, views, and then it will just show this one. Then on our web.php, we need to remove everything here up to here, and we need to pass an array. And what we're going to use here, or what we're going to have is, and I'll show you using our IntelliSense what is going to happen. I want to have the default controller. As you can see now, it says on my IntelliSense default controller is inside app http controllers, and then it just that. So let me click it, and you'll see that we've imported use app http controllers and then default controller. So you can have default controller, then class, and then where do we want it to go? We want it to show the index function. Now this is new in PHP 8, and I don't want to mention any other PHP, I mean any other, not PHP 8 but Laravel 8. I don't want to mention previous versions of Laravel, but this is basically how you use in Laravel 8. You write the controller name, but you have to import it or use it here. Alternatively would be we copy this Actually, let me just have two of them. So we'll have the second one here, and this second one I'll just have everything that I have here, and instead of having this, I can delete everything up to here, then paste this one and add an @ sign there, remove this, and now these two, let me have this take us to another page so that you can see that they're loading the same thing. And here, let me change this also to about. Then I need to probably, let's first of all visit this to see whether it's returning what we want. So I want to go to about. Let me comment this, otherwise it will throw an error. So we have our default route takes us to index. You go to our default controller, index shows us our view. So let's come here and reload it, and we have the same thing happening, but this time we are controlling now from the controller. So I hope you can now start seeing that we had what we call M, then V, then C. So right now we are working with the views and the control, actually not the MVC. Yeah, actually it's the model view controller, correct? No, it's supposed to be MC and V, like this. This is what you're supposed to understand, so that we can use, or we can display a view from the controller, and then we can also still use a model inside the view, but that is another topic. We'll cover it later. So I want us to understand it like this. So we'll have a controller sending data to a view, and then the view displays whatever we want. So this is one way. Another way that we've discussed is we'll have another way, and we'll have a public function. Let's just call it about, and then here we return a view, and we can have about. And I want to show you something else interesting. Show about, and then inside our views folder, we can create. We'll need to create this about. So I'll come here and create about dot blade. This must be there. Then dot php. If you don't add dot blade, it won't work. So let's write. No, this is our HTML. Doesn't matter. So like that. So you can have about us. And then here we'll just have h2 about us, like that. So let's go back and reload it. Still working, correct. Now we don't have the about because we commented it down here. So let's comment this one. Let us uncomment this so we can remove the use method up here. And this is another way that you can do. So let's go back here and write about. If you do that, you'll see we have about us. It still works the same. So I don't like this looks too long. I like this, although it leads us again to a lot of files. I mean, a lot of code on this page, but well, it's good because now once we have this, now it becomes just everything flows. So these two methods are working the same. So if we have this one here and this one here, we can still continue using it. So you can run this and it works, and you can go back home and it works. Those are the two methods in which you are playing around with routes and controllers in Laravel. Now I'm not going to talk about models a lot because we still have to do a few things here and there about models. But on this one, I want us now to learn something else. Supposing we want to pass a certain value from our controller and show it to our view. What do? We have two ways, or several ways. The first one is we use with, and we can pass this data as an array, and we can have name is Ben, and we can say probably occupation. We can say developer, like that. So this data, if we go back here and go to our about, like that, about displays without any problem. But now if I want to show this data, how do I do it? So let's go to our about us, and inside here I can have this now, the Blaze syntax, and I can say probably name. If I do that, then go back, we have name is inside there. Supposing we had this inside another variable, like say data is that. Yeah, this actually needs to be inside an array like that. Yeah, so this will basically throw an error right now. We have undefined variable name, but when we come here to our about, data name, you have name. So you can actually create variables here and then send them with this one. So that is one way. Another way you can do this is by passing things like errors like this. So you can just do with success, with error, with anything, and it will show as what you call flash messages. One thing I don't want to forget to mention today is if you want to group your methods in specific, maybe in a specific way, let's say a view. So you have maybe view for customers, so you can have views. You can have customers. You might have an admin route. So again, you might have an admin directory. So what you do is you can come here and create maybe an index.blade.php, and here you can just say this is customers, and here you can just say we will actually have a structure on this one later. So for today, just let's learn how to first of all have everything working. So you can have this, and you can also have another one here, and I can say index.blade.php, and we'll also learn more about roles. You can have admin. Let me just have admin. And now on our views, if we want to have maybe another route here, so let me use this, and instead of going to my index, I can say customer, and here you can have customers, so slash customers. Then we also have another one for slash admin, and here we'll have admin, and probably I would suggest that they share different control as well. So you can go to this, and you can have our customer, public function customer, correct? And then here we can return. Now this is the most part I wanted you to learn, is if we have another folder inside our resources, say we have my machine is disturbing me today. So we have admin and customer. So customers, we want to go inside the folder called customers, and then we should display index. So here we'll do customers, then dot. In Laravel, a dot symbolizes a slash. So you do dot index. Right? Let's do the same for the admin. Public function admin, and here we return view. And what are we returning? We are returning admin.index. So it knows it's supposed to go inside a directory called admin and then show index file. We also have them on our route, so let's try them out. So we go here, and instead of about, just write customers. This is customers, correct? Didn't return the view. So return customers, as you can see, right? Let's go to admin and admin and admin. This is exactly what we had here. So in Laravel, whenever you have a directory inside another one, just do the main directory dot another one. Even if we had maybe customer and then accounts, say we had customers and accounts folder here, and inside that account we have a file like index.blade.php. You do the same. So HTML5, here we have accounts, h2 accounts. Then you go to our controller. We'll probably have another one, not just one controller for everything. So we'll go there when we are doing more stuff. So public function. So this is accounts, and what we want to do is to return a view, and the view is going to be customers. Inside customers we have accounts, and then we have our index inside that. So let's add it also on the route. So go to web, let's have it just below customers, and I'll show you something else later. So we'll have customers, and let's say you want someone to go to accounts, inside customer/accounts, and you want it to take us to accounts. So let's go back to our views. So we had customers, then accounts, like that, and you see we have our accounts folder there, and it's inside customers, then accounts, then like that. And this is how you're going to show it: customers, accounts, and then show the file index. Perfect. So this is just the basic introduction of controllers. We basically are going to have a lot more tutorials on now how to manipulate data. What you're just trying to see right now, or I'm just trying to do, is to familiarize you with what we have here. So we'll also still do auth controller in our next tutorial, and then we'll now go to database, and then I will start to create I'll show you how to add item to database, how to retrieve them, how to manipulate things, how to create a better UI, things like that in the next 10 the remaining videos, because we're just going to strict ourselves to 10 videos. So thank you guys for watching. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you're my subscriber, know that I love you so much, and continue following up on this tutorial. And at the end of this session that we have, I want you to be super developers, ninja in your own way. Thank you for watching, and let's meet in our next video. Thank you very much.